Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. Today we're making a delicious Gulab Jamun cake for my mom. She's the owner of a small home business. She makes a lot of delicious Indian sweets and it's called Kuch Meetha Kuch Namkeen. If you all want, go check out her page. Also, this was a very special surprise for her. So let's just get started and see how we make the cake and enjoy it. So guys, for this cake we are going to replicate this box and I am going to basically carve this cake in the shape of this box. Now this looks approximately around 5 inches, 4.5 to 5 inches, and we have the cake which is 5-inch diameter. So we have 3 thick layers of this vanilla cake right here, which is 5-inch in diameter. Okay, so now I'm going to place all 3 together without the icing. Now I'm going to keep the box somewhere here just to see the size and the shape and understand how I have to cut it. In fact, the top of this is the lid, so we'll have to make this size ka lid. So probably I'll have to cut off the sides a little and make it thoda or chota, like 5 inch se thoda 4.5 to 4 inches I'll have to cut it. Okay, now the size I have trimmed, the inches I have trimmed basically. So now I'm going to taper it like this box. You can see it's a tapered box from the sides. Okay, so now for filling, this is basically a Gulab Jamun cake. So for filling, we are going to use the syrup that you usually get in the Gulab Jamun, ready-made Gulab Jamun dabba. So I'm using Haldiram Gulab Jamun, the ready-made one, and I've taken the syrup that comes with it and I've added some water so it becomes a little liquid consistency. And to make sure the cake stays in place, I'm going to just add some white ganache at the bottom. You can also use normal chocolate ganache, but because the flavor is Gulab Jamun, I'm not using normal chocolate ganache. Now we'll fill it with some whipped cream and crushed Gulab Jamuns. To make sure that it sticks to the bottom layer, we're just adding this dollop of cream. Now because this is a fondant cake, like I have to cover it with fondant to make the finishing of the box. So I'm going to cover it in ganache because you can't put fondant on whipped cream, it will just start melting. So we have some white chocolate ganache ready over here. You can go ahead and check out the recipe, it's in the description box. I've shared my video link, you can go check it out. Now I'm going to just coat it like it's basically crumb coated. It's not completely, like it doesn't have a thick layer of coating on it right now. So I'm just going to place this in the fridge for say around half an hour to 45 minutes. And then you will move ahead and start with the process of making the final cake. So guys, because we have to make this box, so I have to make the same exact lid for the box cake. Now I'm going to use this as a stencil or reference. We have our fondant here. Since we need this lid to hold its shape, this design to hold its shape basically, so we'll have to add some Tylose to it. this is the bottle we have. Now there's no specific amount of Tylose that I usually use. I just eyeball it according to how much fondant I'm using, and I just add that much and just knead it. I also have my cake outside now. I just removed it from the fridge. Now to make sure that the lid doesn't look very small, because it may look a little slightly smaller because the box is a little smaller than the cake. So I need to make it I need to make sure that I don't make a smaller lid. So you can see that the lid is actually a little smaller according to this box, because we are going to add one thin layer of fondant as well. So जो ये lid है वो छोटा लगेगा. That's why I have to make it a little bigger than this real वाला lid. Now we'll go ahead and roll this fondant out. Now of course this is very thin, so you can see like basically the dabba is बहुत ज़्यादा पतला, so I'm not going to make it as thin, but we'll not also make it very thick because otherwise it will look artificial. And by the way guys, if you all want to go learn some more fondant tips and tricks, I have a lot of videos on fondant as well on my page on Instagram. Go ahead and check it out. I also have a lot of realistic cakes on my IG, so you can also check that out. We need approximately 1 to 1.5 centimeter bigger size than this lid, because our cake is a little bigger, and obviously we also have to like press the sides a little bit to give this design. So we'll cut according to that. We have to use X-Acto knife and just keep it here and use this as a stencil. Now if the fondant was sticky, it would have started not acting well, and it wouldn't cut itself in this proper shape without giving me any issues. So that's why you use Tylose powder to make your life easier. Once your fondant work is done, make sure you always keep it inside the box or keep it under cling wrap so you don't dry it out because of the air. Now what we'll do is make sure all the edges are smooth with your fingers and it is a proper circle. Once that's done, then you start pressing the sides up slightly. Guys, in order to make your fondant toppers harder quickly, what you have to do is you just have to put your oven on at the lowest temperature. Obviously it should have the light. I have Murphy Richards 60 liters, so I put it on at 100 degrees Celsius and I left it on for say around 5 minutes. Once that was done, I placed this mold which is 8 inches and I just placed this parchment paper and उसके ऊपर मैंने topper रख दिया and उसको मैंने oven में डाल दिया, गरम oven में. Of course the oven was shut after I placed this inside the oven. I left it inside say for 5 to 7 minutes. Now I leave it in the AC room. Basically when I'm working right now the AC is on, so I leave it here, and once after a while it'll start hardening. We'll use this later on to finish the top part of the lid, which is this part. So we'll do this later on. Let it dry out right now and we'll start first covering the cake now. So guys, we're using the paneling method for covering our cake with fondant here. We're going to roll out this fondant to a thinner layer, and since we need around approximately 4.5 inches in height and 15 in width, so we are going to use the rolling pin and roll it out to that length and width. Also, if you think the fondant gets a little too tacky or sticky in between, just add a little corn flour or a little bit of icing sugar. I prefer adding corn flour because icing sugar will again make it more sweeter. But remember, while adding corn flour, do not add too much because it tends to dry your fondant out. Now that our fondant layer is ready, I'm just going to go ahead and place it on the cake. It is slightly more from here, so I'm just going to go cut it after marking it. So guys, the lid is pretty hard now. You all can see this. It's nice and rock solid. So now I'm going to finish the detailing of the top part. Now to make this top part of the lid, you can see this strip at the edge. I've just flattened this fondant a little, and I'm going to cut out the strip from this. We are going to slowly place this at the edge over here. So now I'm planning to transfer this to the plate here, and I'm going to try and be very gentle with it. Pick this up with both my hands, and I'm picking it up from the back side just to make sure so I don't spoil the front of it. Move this away, bring this here. Now this is the lid, guys, that we made with fondant, and I have the sticker here. This is not an edible sticker. You can take an edible sticker if you're making it for a client. I'm making it for my mom, so I'm not making an edible sticker. This is the normal sticker that she uses for her boxes. Now I'm removing some Gulab Jamuns from this box and cut them into halves like that. Now why I'm cutting them into halves is because I haven't taken a very tall wall of the box, so I want the Gulab Jamuns to also look like they're a lot. So guys, that's it for the video. I forgot to add the detailing on the outside of the box. I was very sick past few days, and that's why when I was working on this cake, I was kind of lost and not in the moment, so I forgot that detailing. Please forgive me for that, and I hope you all enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you all liked it. Don't forget to let me know in the comments how did you like it, and I'll see you really soon. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.